What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic. And yes, this is the last taxi from the Taxi DLC. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait to get this one done. Are we finally going to be able to top the taxi speeder board with the last taxi, the Liner Navigator? I'll just quickly run through everything we've done so far. So in last place is the Olsen Prami Club with a 141.811, drag rating of D140 and 183 horsepower. The Cab Aroma with a 1 of 40.771, D172 on the drag rating and 288 horsepower. The Security Aura with a 139.326, a D189 drag rating and 286 horsepower. And then we got the Bolt Escapade Mark IV with 135.469, C240 in its drag rating and 410 horsepower. And currently leading the charge is the Lacroix Marseille with a 134.401. B310 on its drag rating and 375 horsepower. That's all the taxis so far. We've just got this beautiful Liner Navigator to go. Obviously, we're going to get it fully restored. A fresh new coat of paint. It's going to look fantastic and probably a lot more like a taxi. Get onto the dyno and then it's onto the racetrack to see the final time whether this taxi can top the taxi speeder board, where it's going to sit up and which is going to be the fastest taxi. So here we go. Let's get on with it then. I'm looking forward to this one. But before we fully jump in, I need to go and say a huge congratulations to the winners of our Taxi DLC competition. For this competition, it was build any taxi from the Law and DLC cars. And the winners, or the top three, will each get a code for the Taxi DLC on any platform they choose. The winners were all Steam. So in joint first place, we got Barker and S1. Barker with the Hell Taxi and S1 with Bumpy Bob. And in third place, we had Speedy with the Drag Taxi down there. All your DLC codes should hopefully already be with you. If they're not, they are definitely on their way. Thank you very much for everyone taking part. The new current competition is taxis again, but this time return of the mods. You can do whatever you want, absolutely crazy wild configurations, pick whatever you want in it. You can make stuff yourself for this one if you really want to, but there are no prizes. We had our prize round. They happen every so often, not all the time, and there are our winners. DLC codes on the way. Congratulations to all of you. But now let's get back to our final taxi from the Taxi DLC, the Liner Navigator. Let's jump in and take a look. There she is, 1978 Liner Navigator. 2 configs, 1 standard and 1 taxi, obviously. Just over 300,000 kilometers on this one, quite a lot. And it is available from all of the places. We got ours from the auction house, the bad auction house, but realistically, this is very, very good, if we're being truly honest. It is very, very good. The engine in it is the V8 single carb overhead valve, currently pumping out 264 horsepower. We are obviously going to be tuning that one as much as we can with performance parts ready for the racetrack to try and beat the Lacroix Marseille, currently in the top spot. That crazy fast taxi. Can we do it with the Liner Navigator? Fingers crossed. I think this one should be the most powerful, but we shall see. I think that Lacroix might have just stolen it. But there we go. Did we get a good deal for this one? No, and not even close. 44,435 is what we paid, and we could currently sell it for 34,469, losing out on 9,966. That's quite a lot, considering the rewards or the payback, the profit from the taxis. For some of them has been pretty good, but for most of them hasn't been that great. So theoretically, we might take a loss on this final taxi. We shall find out. Let's have a look at that engine. That is almost a brand new engine in there. Oh my, that's insane. Well, there we go. We know we're just going to be able to take the engine out and repair what we can repair on it. I'm still going to, performance part this, performance part that, performance part the engine head, the manifolds, the gearbox. We're going to throw as many performance parts as we can on it, but we can definitely strip that engine down. We've got all 4 wheels, so that's normally a good sign for the suspension. I can't see anything missing over here or over here at all. There we go. Drive shafts in and does line up pretty well on that one in comparison to the others. We've got a full exhaust with no clipping. Absolutely fantastic on there. And a leaf spring rear end. Do we have disc brakes or can I not see? Oh, it's a brake drum. It is a drum brake at the back. I can see that by hovering through the wheels there on one side. So there we go. Drum brakes at the back, disc brakes at the front. Oh, I should have been able to see it from there because we can't actually see the disc brake. I'm an idiot. But there we go. Pretty complete, in all honesty. This car, I think, has got absolutely everything there. So I'm definitely glad to see that one. Quite cool. Oh, what are we missing? We're missing a rear bumper and a window. And wow, even the bodywork, we're only missing a rear bumper and a window. I'm not sure the condition on all of these, but we should be able to just smooth out all of these dents with our welder, get a new bumper. Obviously, we're going to have to replace all of the glass and the lights anyway, but the bodywork's pretty much all there as well. This is almost a complete taxi. We could probably just jump in this one and start it. Let's give it a go. We don't have a steering wheel, which means we can't steer, but we might be able to start it. Oh, that's not the button I wanted. There we go. We can actually start it early on. The V8 single carb. There we go. Getting it started in the garage. We don't normally do that. Normally, they're not in good enough condition to start. Let's be truly honest. So there we go. We have a taxi that we could use right now. We're obviously not going to do that. We're still going to tear it all down. Make it look fantastic. Make it look like a proper taxi. Because at the minute, this orange paint or red/brown paint isn't really doing it for me. And we haven't done a single yellow taxi yet. So this is going to be the first one. So let's get it started. Let's get it in the car wash. Let's get the Liner Navigator cleaned up and ready to go. She's all clean and that red looks very vibrant. I'm not going to lie. We are changing it definitely. But I do quite like that red up there. And again, after we've cleaned it all, it does look pretty good. But anyway, let's get underneath. We should be an oil pan. We should be an oil pan. There should be an oil pan. So we need to get that one drained out. Let's go and get you going. Out you come. And, wow, there's quite a bit of it. Quite a bit of it, and it wasn't that dirty. So a well-looked-after previous taxi, because it does have the taxi sign on the roof. They just didn't want a yellow colour. But anyway, let's get it underneath and get started with our cheeky little starter. There she is. Out you come. And our first rusty bolt with our first part removal. Not expected, really, given the condition of all of this. But let's start getting it all out. Drive shaft, out you come. Nice and easy. Our second rusty bolt on part number 2. We're off to a flying start. Third part, any rusty bolts? Up to 2 rusty bolts on this one. So although the condition is all pretty good, we're still getting quite a few rusty bolts to take out. I don't normally have this many this early on. So there we go. Front exhaust pipes, which I'm definitely going to have fun playing with today, because I'm sure they're the ones that do mess up ever so slightly with TK Aftermarket, because I haven't bothered to update it. And that's on me. I believe it is fixed. I just haven't got round to updating it yet. So there we go. Let's try and get back up the front. I can't get there. Why can't I not get up the front? There we go. Back up the front. Not that it really matters, but there we go. The whole engine's in there. Everything we need to get out is out. So let's put it back down on the ground and try and rip that V8 engine out of the Liner Navigator. Let's go and grab the crane and give this a go. Are we going to get it out first time? We are indeed. That is what we like. Put that away. I'm going to go throw it on the stand just so we can get a bit of a better view of it. See what is... Oh, that took a little while. See what is sort of rusty. There's another rusty bolt there. But it's not looking all that bad. I do think a lot of the parts that we would normally, buy new on this one. Timing cover, for example, is on there. That looks like it's repairable. The fan's probably going to be repairable. I don't think there's a performance water pump, so that's probably going to be repairable down there. The block's definitely going to be repairable along with the oil pan. Head covers are repairable. That should all be repairable up there. We should be able to repair quite a lot of this engine, although we are still going to replace quite a bit of it with performance parts anyway, but it should be pretty good. Back in here, let's go and check out the rest of the engine bay, see what we've got going on. So we've got coolant in our radiator, wishy-washy reservoir, a brake servo, and no power steering for this old beast. We do have our fuse box just up here, battery, and that is about it for the engine bay. As I said, the suspension is all there. We're going to repair as much as we can of the suspension. Obviously, front brakes will be replaced with performance parts. And any other bit, like if we can get... That's a sway bar B, so we can't get the performance parts on that one. But all the bushings will definitely be performance parts. And upper and lower suspension arms as well. So there we go. We need to get some liquids drained, though, for definite on this one. So let's get started with that. Right-click, additional tools, drain tool. Click and hold on the radiator, for example, this particular radiator, and it will drain the coolant out. Click and hold on any container with liquid in, and it will drain the liquid out. Nice and simple. I'm going to crack on with stripping the rest of the suspension engine bay, getting that engine all back up to how it should be with all of its performance parts. And when we come back, it'll be time to sort out the beautiful bodywork on this fantastic Liner Navigator. That's everything for our little Liner Navigator, repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back on. But now we need to sort out this bodywork, and there isn't really that much wrong with it. So let's just crack on. Lovely floaty headlights. I do like it when that happens. Up you come. Out with the hood. The grille is attached to the body again, which means we can't change the colour of the grille, which is a shame. I wish this would just become a part that you could take out and put back in, so we could make it a mean looking black grille. But there we go. Let's take the headlight out first so it doesn't float in mid-air. Out with the fender. Windshield, off you come, and then obviously door, window and mirror there. Door and a window there, and just a window back there. Rear window, off you come. Is that a part? That's not a part. Tail lights are a part, but not the chrome surround, just the lights themselves. Trunk and tail lights. Round we go. Window, just door, no window on that one. And then door, window and mirror there, along with our cheeky little taxi sign off the top. I think that's everything for the bodywork. So we didn't have a rear bumper, but we do need to get in and take this interior out. Now these are new seats. So we've got the bench navigator front. And if I just go into this mode, and you won't be able to see it very well, but if I do this and then press... No, then come out of this. I don't know how to do it. And then press tab. You can see steering wheel navigator. Oh, pistons. Steering wheel navigator. So the benches and the seats. Oh, wait, I need to go back in because I need to get them seats added to my shopping list. Make sure we buy them properly. Are new parts. Let's go in quickly. Not there. And have a look at the interior. So if we go onto here. In fact, if I just type in at Navi, that'll bring it all up. There we go. So you've got the front bench, which is cheaper than the back bench. Obviously, because why not? It's got some material cut out for the tunnel, so that obviously is cheaper. So we need the back bench, the front bench, and this new steering wheel, which I do quite like. We'll see what we can do with the colours in that one a little bit later on. But that's all the interior bought. Have we got everything off for the exterior? We have. We're down to the bare frame. We could swap it to the normal version if we wanted to. We're just going to go into here and check. Nothing showing up on there, but we don't want to do that. We want to leave it as the taxi version. Now let's go back in and have a look at the body workstation for the Navigator. There she is. Taxi sign, front bumper, doors, windows, mirrors, lights, bumpers, windows. Yeah, so everything is just a straight up light for light. We will just go into the body tuning shop to see that there isn't one here, so there's no tuning parts. In fact, DLC cars, you get the Mayan T8. Oh, what's that got? Ooh, I forgot about that. That does have some bonus parts for the Mayan T8. The RX-7 does get a lovely spoiler on the trunk piece just there. And what other DLC ones are there? The Hamadal Stral S has got some bonus parts as well, along with the Sylvia, but we'll come to that another time because that isn't official. That's from Multiply. I'm really looking forward to playing around with them. These are also from TK Aftermarket, so we've got a few bits to go on there for some future builds. As for actual DLC stuff, the Bolt Reptilia has got a few pieces. The Arzezo Cortana does have a few tuning pieces as well. And obviously that Le Croix Marseille. That's all the DLC vehicles that have got tuning parts, obviously apart from that Sylvia, because they are bonus, and the Mustang, because they are bonus modded elsewhere. Right, let's get on. It's 25% on the frame, and we bought it for just under 45,000. Oh, I think this is going to be expensive. I'm going to go, I don't think it's going to be expensive. I'm going to go 1,500. 1450, so very, very close. Not far off it from there. But now I'm going to go and repair every single body panel we can repair for this one. Go and buy what we need to buy, and then we'll get this bodywork all back together. Hopefully looking absolutely fantastic. I'll see you in just a second. Let's get this beautiful little Liner Navigator all back together. Now, apart from the windows and lights, I managed to repair everything apart from one door. So let's get on and start getting it back together. Front fender, repaired. Hood, repaired. Front bumper, repaired. Fender, repaired. Front door, repaired. Come off of that mode. Back door, we had to buy a new one. That was the part we did have to buy a new part. Oh, and this mirror, I believe. Is it this one? Yeah, this was a brand new mirror. Couldn't repair that one. Everything else that we had on it, obviously apart from the lights and the windows, was repaired. Absolutely fantastic. Loving this one, helping us keep all of the costs down. Obviously, we do always have to buy new windows and lights. So in you go. On you go with that last window there. This mirror we repaired as well. And the taxi sign was repaired. Loving that one. Round the back we go. Trunk, we managed to repair that one. Obviously, new tail lights. On you go and on you go. And the rear window is new. Plus our blank license plate, which we just always use new. In fact, these aren't new. I've had these for quite some time now. This same license plate, I've had these two on me for absolute ages. I can't even remember how long. So there we go. We did have to buy a brand new rear bumper because that one was missing anyway. But let's go back around and get the rest of these windows in. In you go, and on you go. And that is, oh, blank front license plate. There we go. That is all of the bodywork on. And I'm not going to lie, I am a bit of a big fan of this red. But I know I definitely want to do another one of these builds in the future, not a taxi variant. I just like the look of this. The roof looks almost chopped. Almost chopped. It looks like it should have been a little bit taller originally, but has been chopped down. I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. This is my favourite car from the Taxi DLC. I should love the Cab Roma being a British black taxi or London cab, but this is my favourite looking one. I cannot wait to make some custom builds out of this one. But anyway, let's get on and get our interior. So you can pit a bone that you can pit. Even on the taxi configurations, you can put the taxi bonus part on the roof if you want to. Bizarre. Anyway, that was the wrong button. Let's go into the interior. What I was meant to do there. Back benches, that one. I can do this because of one of the mods. I'm not sure which one. I think it might be Quality of Life mod. Allows us to put benches and seats anywhere effectively. So we'll make sure we get them in the right way around. Back at the back, front at the front. Make sure with the little tunnel pieces in the front one. Is that right? I thought the tunnel piece was in the back one. Oh, I feel like I've done it wrong now. Oh, that's not the right mode. That's not the right mode either. I'll get there eventually. Is that definitely right? That is definitely the front bench. I just wanted to make sure. I'd confused myself. Liner Navigator steering wheel as well is quite a cool looking steering wheel. Can't wait to see what we can do, colours and stuff later. And what we can do with the finish on these benches as well, because they look a bit boring. They're new, which is cool, but they're just a bit plain and boring. But there we go. This is everything for the bodywork and interior. All done, all up to 100%. And that's what we like to see. It's time to get this beast into the paint shop, check out the liveries that come with it, and make it look like a proper good taxi. In the paint booth then with our very good looking Liner Navigator. This is a bit of a weird build, I'm going to say, because this has got black trim on the front windows and rear windows, or dark grey, and chrome trim everywhere else. Now, I want to get rid of as much chrome as I can on this build, so I'm happy the front and black windows are black trimmed out. Disappointed about the grille, but I'm going to try and get rid of the chrome on the headlights, the front bumper, the rear bumper. Obviously, we can't do any bit about this chrome here. That is what it is, but we may be able to get rid of some of this chrome on the underside of the lights to a bit of black. Hopefully get rid of some of this chrome around here to a bit of black as well. And maybe black out the mirrors, keeping the chrome on the windows because I can't do anything about it. And that big old chrome front grille there because we can't do anything about it, along with the door handles and a few other random little pieces. That's the plan anyway. But before we get there, let's have a look at some factory colour options. Obviously, a gloss black does look quite good in the black. Then we've got a very vibrant gloss yellow. Don't think we'll be going with that. I think that's a bit too strong for the taxi. Metallic green, metallic red, a solid blue. It does look pretty good in solid blue. I'm not going to lie. That's a very nice colour for it. And then this sort of orangey, peachy colour. I don't really know what colour to call that. But that's probably closer to taxi than that one is. Although it's a solid finish. Look at the little bumpy bits. Not a fan. Not a fan. We'll go with the yellow for the time being, but I think we're going to change it because I don't like it. We'll see what the liveries do. First livery, it adjusts it anyway to the taxi yellow, but you see the engine bay is a different colour yellow. We don't want that, so we'll have to fix that one. That's probably what we're going to end up with, the traditional classic yellow taxi, white and black checkerboard stripes, black lettering, looking pretty good. I think that's what we're going to go for. Slot number 2 is Metro Cabs with a Z because we are cool, serving the metro area since 1990. I do quite like the red trim underneath with the yellow top. That does look pretty good. but that's all of them. So we'll go back to that first one. But what I do want to do is I want to adjust this yellow. I don't think that yellow's about right. That's probably a bit too much. That's closer to the colour that was in there. 45. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks about right. Did I just actually nail that bang on? I don't want it in a gloss finish, though. So let's move this over. I think I'm going to go for a matte finish on this one. I think that looks pretty good. Let's just flick back through in the matte. Does that look pretty? That looks pretty good. I can't see too many tones changing. Well, I can't see any tones changing as I look across. Maybe a little bit more. I think that is the sweet spot. 46, 100, 100 for the base yellow colour on the taxi livery for the Liner Navigator. So that's what we're going to go for. And as you can see, that does match in the end. If I move this, yeah, you can see that was better, wasn't it? What did I have? 46. Let's try and remember that. That looks closer. There we go. That's the colour we're going to go for. Looking absolutely fantastic. We are going to do some bolts, and I'm going to make them, dig that over a bit, the same colour as the yellow on the bodywork. And then I think inside the engine bay is probably mostly going to be black, white, maybe a splash of chrome just to keep up with that chrome feel. Probably the exhaust, actually. It'd be pretty good in chrome in this one. Maybe all the underside chromed out a little bit as well, just to make it stand out from the underneath. I don't know why I'm staying in this view for so long. Let's just change it so we can get a better view of the car. But let's get it painted. There we go. On you go with there. As soon as that's finished, we're going to open up this engine bay. I don't think we've got an ABS pump or module to check. I just wanted to see the engine bay yellow to the car yellow. That's looking pretty good. Happy with that. So there we go. We're going to try and black out as much of this chrome as we possibly can, because I'm not the biggest fan of chrome. I do not mind a splash of chrome, especially some engine bay items like exhaust and stuff like that. I do think look quite good in chrome. So I'm going to go from there. I'm going to start getting everything painted on this, make up my mind about what I'm going to do with a bit of everything. Is there any livery options on this trunk? I think that's part of the bodywork, isn't it? So I should be able to chrome these out without messing everything up too much. Fingers crossed on chrome. Black those chrome bits out, if I could remember what I was trying to say. That's the plan. I'm going to get on with it. You'll see it all back on the lifter in just a second. That's everything painted on the beautiful Liner Navigator, looking absolutely stunning in this yellow, black and white livery. You might have noticed as we scrolled around there, just a couple of bits that have obviously changed. We put black and white on the headlights, like a back base with a white rim, and I think that looks really cool on this style build. Absolutely loving that. Bumpers are fully blacked out. Obviously could not do anything with that grille, but we did do the mirrors in a little black as well. If we head down the back, rear trunk piece, I couldn't get this to go black and keep the base yellow, but I could get it obviously to go all yellow with a little bit of black down here. So we left it at that because I didn't want too much chrome at the back. We've already got these chrome bits that I couldn't do anything with, but a black rear bumper on there as well. And plus we did black out the edge of the tail lights, and then using the window tinting toolkits, thanks to mods, I managed to get clear lenses on the lights rather than the colour tree that was effectively in there. I think that looks a lot better. 100% tint on all of these rear windows for our privacy glass, and it was around 70%, 60 or 70% for the front windows to get them nicely. I didn't do any tinting anywhere else apart from obviously on the tail lights. There is an option for these parts. It does give you the option for the headlights, but it doesn't do anything. And also it does give you an option for the trunk piece, and I'm not sure if it did anything because I didn't want to do anything with them because they're already clear lenses anyway, so we left them as they were. Now let's open it up and have a look at the interior. He says, let's go into photo mode. Might be a little bit better. So we sneak in through the door there. All I did was put black and Alcantara on the rear bench, and I did exactly the same for the front bench there. I think they look pretty good, and the only other thing I did was I just put a white center square in the steering wheel just because we've got some white checkerboard stuff going around the outside. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments. Let's check out the engine bay minus the engine. Black and chrome on the brake booster, just because a little bit different, also because of that chrome grille made me want to pick chrome elsewhere. Did black on the wishy-washy reservoir, black on the fuse box, black, white and chrome on the battery. And if we nip around to the other side, the radiator is a big black radiator just there. Now let's take a look at the suspension. Little bits of chrome thrown in here. Obviously we did the chrome across member. Yellow bushings, obviously with our yellow bolts, looking very nice. White shocks with a black cap and a yellow spring, just because we can mix it up, so why not? Black on the arms, and then a yellow brake caliper with a few black and white bits dotted in just to keep it looking cool. Down to the back, very similar, mostly the chrome sort of central setup. Black fuel tank, yellow fuel pump, white shocks to go with the white shocks at the front there, black arms, white plates, so on and so forth. A few other bits for good measure. It's all looking pretty good. But now we need to go and build that single carb overhead valve engine. There she is, looking pretty tasty. We did pretty much just went for a black and white theme on this one. We got a bit of chrome in there as well, and a few splashes of a tiny bit of yellow, which we will see as we go on. But before we crack on, I will say this is one of the engines with all the individual rocker arms and a push rods in there. So bear that in mind when you come to build this engine. Spark plugs on the outside. But let's crack on and get this finished. We're going to start with our engine head covers, which are just in a matte black. Now, I did toy and ask my wonderful channel members what they thought. We did test a couple of little carbon fibers and also a body matched yellow. Yeah, I mean, the votes were a black or the thinner weave of the carbon fiber, but the matte black just looks well with the rest of this engine as it is. It sort of fits. There's not any carbon fiber on the rest of this build, so it makes sense to do that. Now, the carburetor, I really, really wanted this black and yellow, but I could not get it to go. So then I was like white and black, but I couldn't get it to go. I could get white on it, but we keep all the red accents, which is why I've kept this, because I was just going to black that one out. But we've got a little splash of red on there that, I mean, I could do something about it. I could have made it go all white or all black, but it looked a little bit weird. So I just left it with a splash of red, plus we got the splash of red down there. So it makes sense. The round air filter, blacked out. The actual round air filter is in a yellow, and then the cover on the top also in that black. I think that's looking pretty mean up there. And just to tie all of that in, we also did yellow ignition wires. Keep a bit of yellow going on the top end of this engine, including that distributor. For our bigger radiator fan at the front there, that is just in a big white, just to get all your attention and be in your face. And then for the exhaust and the exhaust manifolds, we just went for a straight up chrome on there. Just to finish it off, we had to have a few splashes of chrome just to tie in with the rest of that bodywork, in my opinion. What do you think? Did I do it justice? We'll find out when we slap this bad boy in the engine bay in just a second. So let's get it off the stand and let's get it dropped into our beautiful Liner Navigator. I love the look of this taxi. This is one thing, I tell you what, if we were listing things that we want to wish for the next game, I would like the ability to be able to chop roofs a little bit, just sort of take a little bit of height off the roof. I think that would be fantastic, for my opinion. Whether it's even possible in a game, of course it's possible, but I mean, all of the car models, you'd have to make a separate chopped roof for all the car models. It'd probably be hard work, but that's something I would love to see in the next installment of the game. Lots more customization options, we'll call it. What would you like to see in the next installment of Car Mechanic Simulator? Put your suggestions in the comment below. I do speak to the developers, so maybe, just maybe, it could be something that's implemented. But anyway, let's get this engine popped in here. In you go. Get the crane popped away. Just the top with that yellow air filter and the black housing around it looks pretty good, with then the white intake manifold underneath it. I'm liking that. I think that makes that engine bay pop. There's just enough yellow with the yellow engine bay that you can see it is meant to be there, custom built for this specific car. I'm liking it. Looks pretty good. Let's get up in the air though, get a few bits finished off for this beautiful Liner Navigator as we jump into the underneath. I don't want that. I want the gearbox. Let's get you on. Lovely black with a splash of white just on there, and obviously our yellow bolts doing it all up. For the starter, I just went with the white, but I didn't force it with Quality of Life, so we get a bit of this grey on there, but just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying. The front exhaust pipes are in chrome with the yellow on the sheathing. I absolutely love doing that. I think it looks fantastic. I'm so glad that is an option. Our middle mufflers, which are obviously our resonator delete pipes, because we like to delete things, and then our rear mufflers all in chrome through there. Drive shaft, which does fit on this one, is in the chrome and yellow, keeping up with the sort of chrome and yellow theme we've got going on for the underside. In you go, and in you go there. And then all we've got left to do is top some liquids up and get the wheels done. Obviously, I'm not going to do top the liquids up now. You all know how to do that. Let's crack on and get some wheels done. Not that you don't know how to do wheels, by the way, just for the record. But let's crack on and talk about these. Obviously, not the 37As. We've gone for the Rim 205 from the Rims DLC. I think they fit this car spectacularly. For the fronts, I've gone for a 18-inch rim, which is this one, with a 215 width, which is this one, with a 50 profile, which is this one, and ET of 25, which brings the rim away from the car for the fronts. There's no ET at the back. And we've done them in a white and black. You can't really see it, but the base of the rim is white. There is a black lip that runs around the outside, and obviously our lovely black bolts on there, looking very good. And also the Goodyear Eagle tyres, which are available from Payne's Patreon. Obviously, you do need TK Aftermarket as well, or Quality of Life. I can't remember which one it is, but it will tell you which one you need on there. For the rear rims, it's still obviously the Rim 205 from the Rims DLC. They're an 18-inch, slightly wider at 235, still with a 50 profile on there. And no ET needed, because the only reason we got ET at the front was so that we could bring the rim off the brake caliper. We'll see it on the other side. Let's just crack on and get this rear rim on. Make sure we get the right one. On you go there. Looking very good. And then back up to the front for the last rim. Back up to the front for the last rim. On you go. If I just plonk this one on, you can see it only just not clips with 25 ET. I tried 20 first and it still clipped a little bit. So there you go. That's the only reason I put ET on this rim. But look how thick that rim is. You might not need it on some of the other ones. And if you don't, I would advise just making the tyre a little bit thicker so it sticks out, you know, a relative decent width to the car. If you didn't have the ET on these, it would sort of sit back, I'd say around there. So it's a lot further back. So I've gone for one that I think looks pretty smart with this wonderful taxi. But there we go. That's everything done for the time being. Let's just double check. It should be 100% across the board, which it definitely is. We like to see that one. So let's get this beautiful Liner Navigator outside in the sun, ready to do its dyno run. Almost done with our beautiful little Navigator, and she is a beautiful looking car. I especially love the black, white and yellow finish on this. I just wish we could have taken the chrome out of this grille. So many times I say wish we could have taken the chrome out of this grille. It's unbelievable. That build, wish we could have done it. That build, I wish we could have done it as well, actually. Yeah, look, black and yellow. How weird. Anyway, let's crack on. We got to get these plates off. So what do we go for our beautiful plates for this one today? Navigator, because it sort of fits, almost, not quite, and it suits the build, because obviously it is a Navigator. Not a Lincoln Navigator, but it's a Liner Navigator. So there we go. Let's get you on and get this taxi all finished off. There she is, now 100% complete. We've just got to dyno run it before taking this around the racetrack. Do you think the very, very last taxi will be able to top the taxi speeder board and knock the Le Croix, am I saying that right, French toast? I hope so. Marseille off the top spot. Will the Liner Navigator be able to steal the victory in the very, very last race? I certainly hope so. It's the one I thought was going to be the quickest, but I would understand if it is the Le Croix Marseille. Completely get it. But anyway, let's jump inside our beautiful Liner Navigator. In fact, before we do that, let's check out that engine bay one last time. It looks so good in there. I love black and white. It looks so good together, and actually I really like it with the yellow. I think it's a really good looking build. I'm very pleased with how that turned out. Anyway, jump inside. Let's get it started and see what this beautiful little taxi sounds like. Oh, there we go. A nice grumbly tick over, quite aggressive. Give it some gas. Oh, we have got some dial movement up here. Here's our rev counter, just in the sort of center of the screen right now. You can just about see it. Happy to see that one. But there we go. She is sounding pretty mean. I'm liking it. So let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is, what its drag rating is, and then if we can top the taxi speeder board with the very last taxi. It's the final car from the taxi DLC. The Liner Navigator with his V8 1-carb overhead valve, pumping out 264 horsepower from the factory. How much have we added today, and what will its drag rating be? A gain of 266 horsepower, 101%, pinning us up to 530 horsepower. I do believe that is the fastest horsepower from all of the taxis. The drag rating of B310 is also the highest drag rating. Sorry, no, it is the highest horsepower by a long shot. 410 is the next closest, so 120 horsepower higher than the Bolt Escapade, which was the second highest horsepower. Drag rating, though, the next closest is the B310 from the Le Croix that we did in the previous episode. So theoretically, this should now absolutely smash the taxi speederboard and take the top spot in theory. Also, does depend very much on my driving as well. So we'll see if we can handle the Liner Navigator. Before we do that, let's go and check out the gearbox tune. This is what we've gone for today. And all I've adjusted is I've brought this down slightly to give us more top end in each gear. Just a bit more higher speed. Apart from that, the rest of it felt absolutely fine around the track, in my opinion. Other users may vary. Obviously, other horsepower may vary as well. This one's got a tunable carb in it. We've already done it. 3% additional tuning. Absolutely fantastic. And if you want to learn how to easily do that, there is a nice short up in the top right-hand corner up here. But if you don't see that because it doesn't show up on all devices, it is linked in the video description below, along with a link to the ECU tuning as well. Both less than 60 seconds. Short videos. Definitely easy to show you how to do the tuning of both of them two items if you are struggling at all with it. Even just a little bit. It's worth checking them out. But anyway, enough of this. Let's get the Liner Navigator onto the racetrack and see if we can take the final taxi and make it the speederboard champion for the taxi speederboard from the Taxi DLC. How many times can you say taxi in one sentence? Call me a taxi. It's finally time for the Liner Navigator to get on the racetrack. This is the taxi I thought would be the fastest, just based on the engines and things like that from looking at them all at the very beginning. We shall see. We're about to find out. This is the last taxi from the Taxi DLC. We're going to do a standing lap, then a flying lap. You won't see much of the standing lap, but you will see all of the flying lap. And the goal today is to beat the Lacroix that we did in the previous episode, which currently sits at the top of the taxi speederboard with a 134.401 on its flying lap. Can the Navigator do it? Let's find out. Let's go. Come on, you beautiful little beast. Off the line. Not too shabby off the line. Up until the first corner. I feel like we're going too fast already. The gear change helped me slide around that corner, but may have hindered me a little bit. We're going to come off the acceleration a little bit for that corner. Back onto full power around this. And for the final section, for the beginning bit, nearly losing it as we come onto the straightaway. Have been flat with all the other cars through here. Can we keep this same? Nearly was flat and then out off the other side. Whoop, keeping it flat, cutting the apex up onto two wheels on the exit there, coming up to the final S section. This is quick, by the way. As long as I can nail this final section of corners on the flying lap, because I definitely haven't done it here. Oh, there's a tyre wall, ruining our standing lap. But it doesn't matter. The flying lap's the one that's important. As long as we can get across that line with a relatively decent speed and a sort of half-decent time. We're under the 140s on the standing with a big accident as well, where we crashed directly into the tyre wall and came to a direct stop. So theoretically, we should still be in with a chance, as long as I don't make any mistakes on this lap. Hopefully no more tyre wall crashing into, and keeping it nice and steady for out there. Up onto the dirt a little bit, kicking up some dust. It's a good job there's nobody behind us. But anyway, big bank turn. Definitely shaved some speed, a gear down, maybe a bit too early on that gear down there, but did help us get around the corner. Shift it down another gear just to give us a bit some acceleration. Nice and flat through here. We did it on the first lap. Can we keep it flat on the second? Nice and relatively smooth as well. Again, kicking up just a little bit of dirt on the way out, but we don't mind that too much. Definitely some speed shaving off of here. Down to third, maybe down into second. A nice little gear change halfway around the corner. Helped us power through the corner, sliding round it in true Gymkhana style. Not that that's speed related, but there we go. Nice and flat through the big banked left-hand turn. Can we keep it? Can we keep it? No, we've gone too wide, but still on the track, so it'll count using all of the track width, although that would definitely be a penalty if we were in actual race mode. Again, this is quick. Can I do better this time round? I'm going to shave a bit more speed. Go down into second and hopefully not crash into that tyre wall. Cut in the corner a little bit, kicking up loads of dust. Around the final corner, a little bit wide there. Back on the power, down the home straight and across the line. Definitely in first place as we crash into barrier right at the end. 131.613 from the Liner Navigator, absolutely smashing the taxi speederboard, well and truly taking the top spot from the Lacroix, unfortunately. About 3 seconds quicker, but I did have a bad lap with the Lacroix, so it could have been that. But there we go. Let's get this beautiful taxi back to the garage, see where all the taxi speederboard now finally sits out, and then see what we could sell this taxi on for, as we are now going to sell all of the taxis, find out which one was also the most profitable. The Liner Navigator coming in clutch right at the end to steal the taxi speeder board from the LaCroix. Absolutely brilliant. Let's go through the list. In last place, or sixth, depending on what you want to call it, is the Olsen Prami Club. Had 183 horsepower and a drag rating of D140, and it managed the lap in 1:41.811. In fifth place is the Cab Roma, our little London taxi, with 288 horsepower and a drag rating of D172, coming in at 140.771. In fourth place is the Sakura Tiara with 286 horsepower and D189 for its drag rating with a 139.326. In third place is the Bolt Escapade Mark IV with 410 horsepower and C240 for its drag rating with a 135.469. In second place is the LaCroix Marseille with 375 horsepower and B310 for its drag rating, coming in at 1 minute 34.401. And the winner of the Taxi DLC Speederboard, the fastest taxi from the DLC, is our beautiful Liner Navigator. 530 horsepower, tops the highest power. Drag rating of B350, tops the highest drag rating, and coming in with a lap time at 1:31.613, topping the speeder board, the absolutely fantastic Liner Navigator. Let's talk some facts and figures now. We've got all the way through that. We bought the car for $44,435 and could have sold it and lost out on $9,966. We may have overpaid for this one, but we didn't do that. We spent $10,339 sorting out the engine bay and all of the suspension and underside, including all the exhaust and things like that. For the engine, the gearbox, starter, and all the liquids to get it running properly was $9,048. The bodywork, interior, and welding that frame was $5,334. Those beautiful wheels and tyres in black and white were $8,474. Our private plates, $1,700 as per usual, and the paint and finish cost 17,010 credits, putting the total spend for our Liner Navigator at 96,340, which I don't think is too bad, but we'll find out if we can make a profit in just a bit. There we go. Let's get off the B-roll, say goodbye to that, and hello again to this beautiful Liner Navigator with its black, white, and a splash of chrome engine, looking absolutely fantastic. A little bit of yellow on there as well. I really have loved this one. But let's jump in and see if we could make some money. We're on the wrong screen, but yeah, we can. We spent 96,340 and the sale is 122,257, which does give us 25,917 profit from our beautiful Liner Navigator, all 100% complete, and a lot more horsepower from that engine, from 264 to 530. I am very impressed with this one. Let's get it into its correct place out here with all of the other taxis. Into the parking you go. There she is. Obviously, that's thanks to the quality of life mod. We now have all 6 taxis complete, and I want to do one more thing before we say goodbye to all of them, although I can't sell them from here, so I'll just sell them off camera later on. We're going to go through and find out which is the most profitable. Now, I've already done it. In last place, very sadly in last place, let me just double check this. Yeah, in last place is our beautiful Cab Roma, our London taxi. Little bit disappointed with that one. Profit of 24,570. If we just jump in, a sale price of 106,000. In fifth place was the one we just did, the Liner Navigator. I thought this would be worth a little bit more, if I'm being truly honest, with profit of 25,917 and a total sale of 122,000. So quite a high sale price on that one, just not a lot of profit. In fourth place was our Bolt Escapade with a profit of 28,935 and a total sale of 107,350. So the sale prices aren't too far apart. In third place, I thought this one would be more, is our LaCroix, the movie car. Definitely figured this one that should have been sold for more, with a profit of 32,235 and a sale price of 108,176. In second place is The Olsen Premi Club are right down at the end here with a total profit of 33,259 and a sale of 114,670. But the most profitable taxi from the Taxi DLC is the Sakura Tiara, with a profit of, ready for this, 77,368. It wasn't even close. And the sale of this one, 142,744. Definitely the most expensive taxi. But the fastest and most high-powered is the Liner Navigator. So if you want just profit, get yourself the Sakura Tiara. If you want something fun, it doesn't matter. But if you want the fastest and most powerful, from stock that is, not if you want to edit the configs and stuff like that, is this beautiful Liner Navigator. I've really enjoyed it. I love doing all of the Taxi DLC. What do you guys think of it? Do let me know in the comments below. But now we've finished with the Taxi DLC, we're going to head back to the mods, and I've got something weird next. This, if you cannot tell from there, which I would not blame you if you cannot, we'll get a bit closer, let some more bits load in, and you still can't guess what it is. This is the Lunar Roving Vehicle. It is a mod. It is absolutely fantastic. It's available on the Steam Workshop. And this is not going to be good on the drag strip as a standard version. This is not going to be good on the racetrack. And it's really, really not going to be good on the gravel track. But being a Lunar Rover vehicle, we're going to take it around the gravel track because that's the closest in-game we can get to the lunar surface, unless somebody wants to actually mod in the moon. I don't think anyone wants to do that. I mean, if they do, it'd be cool to drive the Lunar Rover vehicle on the moon. I'd be quite happy with that. The engine in this one, you ready for this? Is the electric engine with a whopping 1 horsepower. We will be putting tuning parts on it. How much do you think we can increase it by? What do you think from 1 horsepower we'll be able to squeeze out of this little CHRGE E1 engine? I'm not sure myself. We'll come to the costs and everything like that in the episode. Also, who created this wonderful masterpiece, and then it'll be on to the gravel track. So do make sure to join us back here on Monday for our lunar roving vehicle. I'm looking forward to it. It probably won't be quick, but it's going to be a little bit different and something quite fun. One last time, do let me know what you think in the comments of the Taxi DLC. I've really enjoyed it. I know some of you like branded cars and things like that, but this one wasn't made by Red Dot. It's by Petrod Games. They do some good stuff, but no licenses and stuff like that. All the stuff they work on that I've seen so far has all been unbranded vehicles. So our lunar roving vehicle is losing parts as we get further away. I don't know what to do. We'll be able to fix it in the next episode. It'll be fine. But yes, do let me know what you think of the Taxi DLC. Leave a cheeky little like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to share it with somebody, especially if they've got a favourite taxi. Share it with them, because I think they might have something to say, good or bad. And if you've got something to say, do let me know in the comments below. But if you really, really want to support me, become a member of the VM Garage Club for £2.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee. It massively helps me out. And, well, you get to have access to all my custom configs and liveries I create. There's a Discord where we can chat and have a laugh, share builds, share other games that you might want to play if you play them. I'm going to start sharing some other games on there as well. But yeah, it's mostly just a place where we can have a chat, have a laugh, and I ask for help with some builds sometimes. So if you want to be there, it's £2.99 a month. The VM Garage Club, click the join button below. Like these guys on screen, absolute legends. My channel legends, you're all very much appreciated. And you too can become a legend by clicking the join button below. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanics.